Giving you the real from A to Z surrounding the Dallas Cowboys. News, updates, rumors, transactions, takes, and more. So strap up, Cowboys Nation, and start your day off with A to Z Sports. Live with Will Steele.
3, 2, 1.
Here we go. Good morning, good people. Welcome to A to Z Sports Live. We are streaming live on YouTube. And of course, I am your host, Will Skywalker Steele. Boom! Coming up today, I did get the memo. I did get the TPS report. So we got a rookie report card. It's been a minute since we pulled out the old report card. So today we will be grading our Cowboys rookies, our eligible Cowboys rookies. Not all of them are eligible. Hell, not all of them are even here. But that's something we'll mix up today's show. Plus in the roundup, Mike McCarthy was pressed by a reporter about the offense. Something that, like I said, if I happened to be down there, I had to press pass, I'd be pressing them too. But he finally was pressed a little bit about it, and he gave his answer. So I will let you guys listen to his answer in the roundup, and then I'll give my take on the whole entire spiel. But good morning, Bomb Squad. What's up with you?
Bomb Squad!
Hope you guys are having a wonderful Tuesday. The doubleheader, again, back-to-back doubleheaders on Monday Night Football. Don't know how I feel about it. I mean, you don't get a halftime, so you can obviously continue to watch football from 6:15 or whatever it is, Central, all the way to the end of the night. But, I don't know. Still getting used to that. I don't think it'll be every week anyway, so I believe that's the last of it for a while. But in one of the doubleheaders, or two of them, two interesting things happened. Tony Pollard broke off a big run. 41-yard run. Looked like he was explosive. But that's not really the big thing. Jared Goff went 18 for 18 for 60-something yards, 2 touchdowns, and he caught a touchdown. Jared Goff. I like Jared. I think Jared Goff is a really good quarterback. I think he's a good quarterback. Let me just put it that way. Boy, that Ben Johnson, though, man. If Jerry Jones ain't looking what's happening over there in Detroit with Ben Johnson, I don't know. I don't know what else what you could be looking at in today's age when it comes to these coaches. If you're not hiring a defensive coach, then you're hiring one of these type of coordinators. That's just the way it is, man. But shouts out to Detroit. Shouts out to Tennessee for getting their first dub of the season. Miami, man. It's not looking too good for y'all this year without old boy. They had Tyler Huntley out there playing, but doubleheader last night was fun watch. If you guys, went on Underdog Fantasy and you hit your lick, let me know. That'd be cool too. But all right, let's hit this roundup real quick and take a listen to what old Coach Mike McCarthy had to say.
It's time! It's time! It's time! It's time! It's time. It is time for.
It's time for the morning roundup. Round 'em up, boys.
Let me talk to you.
Let me and Coach Mike McCarthy talk to you, Cowboys Nation. So, we know, we see it each week. The Cowboys offense is pretty stagnant. The Cowboys don't really run a whole lot of motion and don't really do a lot. It's not a creative offense, right? I don't even think a diehard homer can disagree with that, right? So finally, after 4 weeks, because after a week, okay, after 4 weeks, we're starting to get enough data to be like, hey, what's going on here? What's the thought process here? And I a few times have asked a source behind the scenes, meaning in the walk-offs or the scrums, to ask McCarthy about this, because I was told that he does not like when you press him about this. Hence why you hardly ever see anybody ask the question at the podium. But behind the scenes, he just kind of scoffs at it and keeps it moving. Well, you know, Clarence Hill don't give a damn. Clarence Hill, shouts out to us, obviously, mentioning things via Twitter and shows and whatnot. Clarence Hill mustered up the question and asked Coach Mike McCarthy about, you know, the lack of motions and shifts and things like that. And this is what old Coach Mike McCarthy had to say. Take a listen.
Can you talk about why you're low in that category and that's an important part of your offense?
Yeah, I've seen the reports. You know, we got a great analytics department.
TPS report.
You know, I think I've probably seen all the ones you saw and didn't throw out the ones that are good, because, you know, that's part of the equation too. But no, I think was really kind of part of what I was talking about earlier. You know, you got to look at the situationals, you know, particularly on offense, you know, because some of our formation, you know, I was talking to John Park about this yesterday, you know, some of our formation tendencies, you know, you got to factor in, I think we've been almost 3/4 of 2 minutes. So, you know, those are skewed a little bit. But yes, you know, as far as the motions, how much motion we want to do, you know, CD's utilization in motion. You also, I don't know, you know, one of the things the analytics also shows is just the, you know, the yardage that our receivers cover. You know, our guys are, you know, and that's probably a product of, you know, some of these 2 minute, you know, the extra 2 minute, you know, 2 minute offense that we've been in more than the norm for 4 games. So yeah, I've looked at all those things, clearly aware, you know, the windows and, you know, so I've seen the studies, but also I think our guys do a really good job of taking that data and then making sure all the filters are applied, so our information's accurate. And as Brian and Schottenheimer and I will continue to visit on it, you know, through today, and that's what tonight's for. And then as we start putting that plan together tomorrow, so those things have all been identified. But I think, just like anything, you know, what you do inside the why is a big part of it. So yeah, we're clearly aware of our numbers in those areas.
There you have it, Cowboys. I wanted to let it all play out, and yeah, word salad, right? All right, so this is what I said on Twitter, and he said this. We are clearly aware of our numbers. All right, Coach, you're aware. You realize how stagnant, unimaginative, bland, whatever you want to call it, this offense has been. You talked to John Park. You're aware. Now I would like to see you address it moving forward. Not that I give him any pass if he does, because here's my issue that none of the other people that are pro him or whatever would tell you, is that you've had an entire offseason to work on these things, to add to these things, to come into the 21st century. And this is what we are getting, basically the same thing we got prior to week 6. So you don't get points for, oh, you know what, after the bye week, they do a little bit more exit and push motion. No, you don't get points for that. Should have been addressed. So hopefully, after being asked about it publicly, addressing it, we'll see what happens behind the scenes. But it doesn't really just stop with the motions and the shifts, because as you guys know, we do a lot. Most of our motions anyway are BS motions. There's no real intent with it. These guys aren't really trying to get you off kilter. It's mostly shifts, to be honest. Hey, you go on this side. CD Lamb runs the most lazy motions I've ever seen in my life. I hate it. But that's just the way it is. But it's, to me, what happens after the fact. We get some RPO looks. Is there play action? We got bunch formations to get better releases. Any of that going on? Here's where the Cowboys rank in RPOs, 21st. Play action rate, 27th. Bunch formation, 23rd. This has to improve. Point blank, period. There's no getting around that. And I feel like if they improve that stuff, you'll be able to, like, you have the skill players to make this offense look better, right? I mentioned this, at least me. I'm not going to speak for anybody else. I mentioned this going into the season. You got guys, get out of here. You got guys like CeeDee Lamb, Jake Ferguson, Brandon Cooks, Kevontae Turpin, Hunter Lipke. These guys possess a special set of skills that, if utilized correctly, you can take advantage of a defense schematically. There's no shortcomings of guys that you can put in spots. Now you can easily say, yeah, we don't have a dominant wide receiver 2 type. That's fine. You're right. But with these guys opposite of opposite of Lamb, Ferguson, Cooks, Turpin, Lipke, these guys present a specific set of skills that could be utilized. Bunch formations. You get Cooks and Turpin involved in bunch formations, so they're not dealing with press at the line of scrimmage. You get those guys going in over routes, drag routes, make dudes chase them all damn day. Hunter Lipke, obviously, get him involved more, slipping out, play action, fullback. Hell, he can be a tight end too. Probably is right now, in my opinion. Like, you've got Jake Ferguson, more tight end screens. Obviously, get him involved downfield. Take advantage of one-on-ones. You've got the skill players. I'm not hearing that BS that you don't have the skill players to make it work. What you don't have is the scheme to put these guys in position to take advantage of what they do or what they can do from their skills. And I had mentioned last week, if you just do some research and go look at on his way out from Green Bay, what it sound like. I'm just going to show you an excerpt and you tell me what this sounds like. This comes from Jeff Schwartz back in 2018 when he was with the Packers. Mike McCarthy's back. Mike McCarthy's offense is bland. It's boring, predictable, and worst of all, it doesn't use Aaron Rodgers' talent to the full extent. His offense has been passed up by new, exciting, vibrant, and more creative offenses. Those offenses, and I'll acknowledge that not every team can be the Chiefs, Saints, or Rams, use formations, shifts, motions, personnel groupings to get receivers open and make for easy throws, easy pitch and catch style throws. The Packers should be using this too, especially with injuries and young, inexperienced receivers. I lied to you not. You could literally replace Packers with Cowboys, and it's the same damn thing. It's the same damn thing. I'm not exaggerating here. You need more of it, coach. And until then, I'll be on your neck. If I gotta be the one to be on your neck, I'll be on your neck about it. And then once you do it, we'll acknowledge it. Just like last year when we started to see more of that kind of exit motion, push motion type stuff. And it was working. How you don't start off the season with more of that, or how you don't build off of that is just mind-boggling to me. But this isn't new for McCarthy. This is what he was coming out of Green Bay. You thought maybe he went into that barn, studied up on the analytics and all that stuff. I guess we got the best analytics department now per whatever NFL award. Well, utilize it, right? Like, utilize it so you can make this offense even better. Because right now, if I'm not mistaken, we're 4 games in, and I don't believe the offense has scored 3 touchdowns. We had a team score 3 touchdowns on us in a quarter or a half. The Cowboys have not scored at 3 touchdowns in a single game. But I'm supposed to be okay with that. Nah, bro. Get it together. Now, here's the thing. At the end of the day, I do think because you have 4 and 88 and 87, this offense, because of them, will figure itself out and have games where it looks great. But I'm going to say it until my last breath. You cannot rely on that week in and week out. It is not sustainable. You have to bring something to the table, coach. Period. Point blank. So, coach, when it comes to this motion and post-snap action and creativity, I'm going to need a little bit more of it.
Yeah. If you could just go ahead and make sure you do that from now on, that would be great. And I'll go ahead and make sure you get another copy of that memo. Okay?
Okay, coach. I'll be the one to make sure it gets a copy of that if y'all don't want to do it. Don't worry about it. I'll be the bad guy. Oh, yeah, 100% Night Ranger. I've said this since last year. I've said this even when the offense took off last year. I'm like, if you're really watching, it's 4-88. Yeah, this is what it is. But I digress, man. I digress. Let's turn the page here. Let's get to some rookie report cards. So in case you guys weren't around when we did our grades in the offseason, we're bringing out the whiteboard again, baby. We're going to take a look at all of the rookies eligible for a grade. And we're going to grade them. Now, I want to start off. I was going to go backwards, but look, who am I fooling here? Who am I fooling here? Tyler Guyton's your first round pick. He's obviously was the most highly anticipated draft pick, replacing your Hall of Famer Tyron Smith, right? And for the most part, a lot of us figured this is one of those picks where, look, it's going to take some time. For me, I dubbed it a more 2025 pick where you really going to get the height of Tyler Guyton, but 2024, you're going to go through these growing pains and these ups and downs. And that's exactly what it's been for Tyler Guyton. You've seen him in his 269 snaps go through these ups and downs. He's allowed 11 pressures, 4 sacks, and he has 9 penalties. That's the second most sacks in the league so far at the position, the 6th most pressures at the position, and the 2nd most penalties at the position. It's truly a trial by fire for a guy Guyton, right? Like, here's the thing about him. You really get what you saw on his college film. Yeah. There's nothing really shocking about what he's doing on the field. You're seeing what you saw in college. An athletic freak. He has that kind of innate ability to mirror. He's getting to his spot with no problem, right? He can get to that landmark, no issues, because he has really good feet. You hardly see him get beat around the corner. And even when he loses kind of that first initial move, he can counter and he can kind of stay with you. But you're also seeing those awful hands. He's not going to out-technique anybody, not for a while at least, right? You kind of see him get wild with his hands. He reverts back to what you saw in college. That kind of wide grab you. He lets players into his chest. And if you're going to let a player into your chest, you better have that anchor ability. And I don't think he has that anchor ability just quite yet. Now, he gets some offseason peanut butter. He'll be fine with that. So sometimes you'll see him compensate for that. He'll lean a little bit. And, man, he's so interesting because he'll lean in a winning rep. And you're just like, that's where that twitch, if you want to call it that, he's such an athletic dude that he's able to get away with it from time to time. So what you want to see from Tyler Guyton is just continued improvement right now. So before we get to the grades, though, just do want to take a look at some of the things that I'm talking about here. Like some of these reps are reps that you want to see him kind of build on here. This is against Kayvon Thibodeau. Look where the hands are. No leaning. He's standing tight. But even when he wins, he leans, right? But this is a win. And this is one of those situations where when he wins, when he leans that way, he's able to kind of torque his body back up, and now he's back into great position. So you do see that from Tyler Guyton from time to time. Like, this is what you want to see. Another good rep where look at his hands. His hands he's not leaning yet. His hands aren't wide. These are the good reps. These are where you really want to see Tyler Guyton do on a consistent basis, because when he does it, he's really good. I don't think you can get around him, and I don't think you get in on his chest, right? Let's take a look at this one. Gets to his landmark with ease, and then boom, this is where it gets wild with TG, right? He starts to lean into that, what I'm really comfortable with. I'll wrestle you. But look, even still, he recovers, right? Misses with his hands, and he recovers. But you don't want to see that often. Get to this rep, gets to his landmark again with ease, But this is what I mean by when he allows guys in his chest. Kayvon Thibodeau is not a power rusher. I wouldn't call him that. But you don't have to be when you can use your speed to power. So good hands, right? He's not reaching wide, but he allows the defender to get into his chest first, and he just gets walked back to the quarterback because he doesn't have that type of anchor ability just quite yet. He got to get into the lab and get that peanut butter going. Once again, we're getting wide with the hands. But I love how he recovers here, though. That's the thing about him. He's able to recover because he's just an athletic freak, and he's long, and he has really good length for an offensive tackle. And I think he recovers really well here, even though he's kind of wide here. And I don't think it's terrible, but I do think the counter was great. This is a really good rep from Tyler Guyton, and what you want to see more of, in my opinion. If guys can't beat him around the corner, they're going to try to beat him inside, and he has to know that and beats him to the spot, gets back square. Great rep. These are the things you see with Tyler, right? Like, you see really good reps, and then you see reps where this happens, and guys are just beating him inside, and just a quick sack on Dak Prescott here. This is what you saw him get beat in training camp. If guys didn't have film on him early in the season, just go look at training camp, and a lot of guys were beating him, just firing right inside, getting on that inside shoulder, and this happens. He's giving up a sack in each game, and a lot of it is just like this, right? A lot of it's just like this. Guys beating him inside. Again, we're going inside. This is where Tyler Guyton, as a veteran, you realize, okay, this is how guys are beating me. And I think what he needs to understand as he continues to grow is I can counter you, I can mirror you, I can get to my landmark on the outside. Let me make sure I'm protected when you're trying to fire inside. Look where the hands are. You're not punching Kayvon Thibodeau to knock him off balance. You're trying to give him a big old hug. Come here, Kayvon. Come here, buddy. Gets inside, and I don't know if this is one of those holding calls or not, but it's a pressure. So, TG has to understand guys are going to try to beat him inside. Not a lot of guys are going to get around Tyler Guyton. Again, with those hands, man. Like, the further into the game you get, the more you see TG just gets really wide with his hands. He starts hugging you, and he lets guys into his chest, but he recovers. Again, that's what I mean by he has this innate ability that if you're going to try to beat me outside, that's not the way to do it. I'll mirror you all the way out there. I've got great feet. And this one was on Brian Burns. Brian Burns had a tough time on these guys in general. Again, gets leany, but if you're going to try to beat Tyler Guyton, whether he's leaning or not, on the outside, he's just too athletic, and he rides him up. Good rep. Good rep. Not great technique, but good rep. I'll take it. So that's a little bit of TG. Cowboys Nation. Let's give him a quarterly report grade. Where do we grade Tyler Guyton at the quarter mark of the season? We'll read you guys, and I'll show you mine. Where are we grading Tyler Guyton? John has him D minus. Pretty harsh there, John. Professor O has a D. C minus, D, B minus, B plus. Lots of C's. Lots of C's. So I'm not going to go as harsh as a where we at here? Boom, boom. As a D. And here's why. There are a lot of good reps too, though. There's a good bit of losses, and the technique's not great. He's still working on that. He's still a rookie. He's been up against a gauntlet. Myles Garrett, Chase Young is, even though he's Chase Young, he's still not a slouch, right? Kayvon Thibodeau, Brian Burns. Doesn't get easier though. It doesn't get easier. But I'm on grade on the scale. Clearly, he's a rookie, right? And you got to take this into account. Going up against a pretty tough start of the season in regards to pass rushers. But you do see that ability that made him a first-round pick. You just want to see him be a lot more consistent in his technique. Hopefully that's more repetition. and somebody kind of in his ear, hey, I know, big fella, you're getting tired. We're in the third quarter. Let's not revert back to what you are comfortable with. Let's stay focused. Let's stay focused in our technique, because the last thing you want to do is we're in a big spot in the fourth quarter and you get your hands wide or you get the lean, and the next thing you know, and it's a big sack. So I got C+ for Tyler Guyton, Cowboys Nation. D with no scale, C-, C-. That's the other thing, Brandon. Are you factoring the penalties that kill drives? You got to factor in all of it. But I think the biggest factor with not going too crazy on him is that he's a rookie. If he was a veteran doing this, I'd be looking to sit his ass on the bench. But I'm trying to look at, okay, where is Tyler? Where is the pros at? Where do I see the good film at? And where are the cons? And the cons right now are all the same things I saw in college. The penalties, though, are definitely something to keep mindful, because if that continues, you could arguably drop that down to a D. The penalties are not great, Bob. Even if you take away, Sky, 2 of those penalties were okay. Take away 2. He has 7 penalties. I mean, that's still too many penalties in the first 4 games. Way too many penalties in the first 4 games. All right. Let's go to our second round pick. Marshawn Kneeland. Only 107 snaps, but I still think he's playing decently. He's kind of bookend his season so far. The first week and the last week, he's played over, I believe, 30 snaps in a game, but the 2 weeks in between, which is very strange against teams that ran on your ass, he didn't even notch 20 snaps. But 6 pressures, 8 tackles, 4 stops, and 1 tackle for loss. Marshawn Kneeland, I think so far, looks like the guy that you drafted, right? A guy that is a disciplined guy, a run defending edge, smart guy. And you saw it against Daniel Jones on the RPO. He played that extremely well. Not a prolific pass rusher yet. Never thought that he was going to be that coming in. But he has a motor that doesn't stop. And on one of his pressures against Daniel Jones, it was because he didn't stop. But he's about to get a chance right now to really, really showcase who he is as a full-time performer. Right? D-Law's out. Mike is out. He's going to be asked to play, I would imagine, 75% of snaps until these guys return. At least until Micah returns, and then upwards of 65, 70% of snaps until D-Law returns. That first week, amazing. You saw, again, why you draft a guy like a Marshawn Kneeland. And he's shown some of that ability throughout the last 3 weeks. Now, I get it. The week 2 and week 3 was just not great. Not great at all. But where are we grading Marshawn Kneeland here? I think we're on the same page on this one. I think we're on, I think we're on the same page. Everybody's a B. I feel like Marshawn Kneeland hasn't popped every week. Again, these are rookies. Understandable, right? But also, when he's been on the field, I feel like he's put out good tape every single week. Good reps, I should say, to take away. I don't think he's been a liability in that way. And I think the arrow is pointing up for, honestly, all these guys we're going to talk about. But I'm really excited to see Marshawn Kneeland get a chance to play more as a full-time guy. B-, B, a lot of Bs. I think a lot of people are going to be in the B territory here. B, yeah. Mostly Bs here. And I'm with you on this one. I don't think he's done anything to garner being worried about Marshawn Kneeland, but I also don't think he's, aside from week 1, has popped the previous last 3 weeks, I should say. So I'm with you guys at a B. All right. Cooper Beebe. This one, to me, spent a lot of time watching a lot of his snaps yesterday, all the way up to this morning. And I found myself getting frustrated. And I'm going to tell you why. Cooper Beebe, 268 snaps, 3 pressures allowed. Has been docked for 2 sacks, 2 penalties. It's not really the pass blocking. Don't have an issue with it. One thing you know about Cooper Beebe, just from watching him from camp to now, you've seen a massive jump for Cooper Beebe from the center position. It's been clear as day. He looks a lot more comfortable. Now he's still working through things as a rookie is as a help guy. And I feel like teams know that. So we're going to do a lot of stunts. We're going to make Cooper Beebe have to pick a side. And the more he plays, I think the better he'll get a feel for it. I think he's been really, really good as a pass blocker. Now, as you guys know, when it comes to this running scheme, I hate it. And I wanted to just pry my eyes out, going back and just watching strictly rushing attempts because it's so frustrating, man. It's so frustrating. I think we might have the worst running scheme in the league. Seriously. So I go back and I'm watching it. Okay, it's almost exclusively duo blocks. It's combo, try to get to the set. It's very basic ABC bullcrap with nothing that's really aiding anybody on that side of the ball, whether it's the linemen, whether it's the running backs, nothing. It's all crap. The blocking has been crap. The design is crap. The running is crap. It's just bad. I don't even like to watch it. But what frustrates me about it when talking about Cooper Beebe is that I feel like this scheme has taken away Cooper Beebe's dirt ability in the run game. Am I overreacting? I don't think so. When I watch Cooper Beebe at the center position in the ground game, it's a whole, and this is centers, right? Voch, if you listen, and you probably can understand this more than anybody. It's a whole lot of help, get to the second level. Which I don't have a problem with Cooper Beebe doing that based off his college film. But I think they're taking away that physical intent of Cooper Beebe because he doesn't have a guy he's zeroing in on. He's not pulling and saying, take out the mic or take out that corner or take out that safety or that will linebacker. He's not trapping and saying, I want you to dirt this defensive tackle we're going to let free. He's having to help Zach or help Tyler and then get to the second level where there's nothing happening from a schematic standpoint. These linebackers, if you go look at how these linebackers are attacking the Cowboys, they realize we're not getting anything behind it. We're not getting anything pre-snap. And these running backs aren't really going to run outside of their responsibility. So if the call is designed to go A gap, it's coming A gap. If the call is designed to go B or C, it's going B or C. And these dudes are just not running into a lot of Tyler Smith, Cooper Beebe, or Zach Martin at the second level consistently. Now look, Tyler Smith, Cooper Beebe, and Zach Martin are no scrubs. I know they can get to the second level and attach, but it's not happening at a frequent rate. And what I'm noticing with Beebe, he's got to hesitate. He's got to find the guy. Am I still helping out with Tyler? Am I still helping out with Zach? It's not just your standard down block zone concept, get to a spot. No, it's way too much thinking involved for a dude that just want to dirt you. So it's just really frustrating watching it. And that dirt ability from Cooper is completely gone, y'all. Like I lied to you now. I'm not seeing it and I don't blame him at all. I think it's still there for Cooper. I still think it's still there. But we're just not getting to the second level with intent. Obviously, dual blocks happen. Obviously, the combo blocks, that's all part of things from time to time. But that's all we do. That's all we do. And it's taken away. And not just Cooper Beebe when you really think about it. Tyler Smith. How many times are we seeing Tyler Smith pull and just pummel a defensive end or a blitzing linebacker or getting out in space? How many times are we seeing it? You're not. So I'll get off my tangent on that situation, but I think Cooper Beebe has been fantastic as a pass blocker. I think as a run blocker, he's trying to rewire who he is. Let's give Cooper Beebe a grade for his rookie report card. I got B-. I think Cooper Beebe has been a fine player. I think he's grown immensely from the first time he took a snap at center up until now. The things I like to see him work on is being a help guy in pass protection when teams aren't head up over top of him. They're running stunts and whatnot. He'll look for work. I have no problem with him looking for work. But he's still getting a feel of how to do that. And then, look, much like I say about Dak and all these other guys, the scheme ain't changing. You have to overcome it in spite of it. So, yes, I would like to see him be better as a run blocker. And that's going to be a tough task because teams are watching this, man. Teams are watching how the Cowboys run. It's so, man, these linebackers got it so easy, bro. So easy. So I'll give it a B. B-, I'm sorry. All right, next up. Kind of want to call him like the Tasmanian devil. Marist go 110. They only go 110 miles per hour. 103 snaps for Marist so far in the season. 10 tackles, 3 stops, 1 tackle for loss, and he is your third linebacker. I think that has been proven, right? Anytime they come out in a traditional 3 linebacker set, it's Marist Liufau, DeMarvion Overshown, Eric Kendricks. That's your guy. And for the future, I don't think at this moment right now, I think he's ready. I think he's a bit wild, but for the future, Kendricks and Liufau are going to be so. Kendricks and Overshown are going to be so fun. I think on that second level. I don't care who the defense coordinator is. I think they're both can transform into any scheme that needs to be brought in here. But I think Marist Liufau has popped on film, both good and bad, right? Like you've seen him make plays at the line of scrimmage in the backfield, hair flying around, and he brings kind of this energy, kind of the same energy that DeMarvion Overshown brings. But I think Overshown has just an aura about him. I mentioned that when just meeting him in person, I was like, oh, there's something about this dude that he'll just and then you research who he is. It's just something about that guy Overshown that he's going to be okay. He's going to be just fine no matter what happens, and he's more than that. I think he's a star. But Liufau, I like what I've seen from Liufau so far this season. Even when he's not been good, like you go look at the Saints game, for instance, where he's just firing away. I think that's more to do with, look, I'm going to go 110%. If I'm going to be wrong, I'm going to be wrong at 110%. He's a smart player. Coach called him brilliant. More he plays, the more he sees, the more you'll see him be under control. If you go watch how Eric Kendrick plays, again, this is being a veteran. This is understanding offenses and being around the league. He's very much in control throughout the game. And even DeMarvion Overshown, one thing I noticed, especially in the Giants game, and I'm not saying that Marist is out of control all the time. No. These guys, for the most part, when things are good, they are playing their responsibilities well. But one thing I'm very impressed with DeMarvion Overshown, again, I keep going back to him, is he'll overplay his responsibility just to make sure, right? Just to make sure you're not going to get to this outside, or I'm going to fill this gap so my teammate can get here. But he's so good and athletic that, okay, I may overplay my responsibility. I can shoot right back inside because I'm that athletic, and that's sweet to get there. But I think the more he plays, the more confident and under control Marist Liufau will be. And that'll just be good for this defense. Now, yesterday we talked about how without D-Law, without Micah Parsons, you're probably going to see more of Marist Liufau blitzing. Point blank, period. A lot more of him blitzing. So, Marist. Again, I'm going to give him a B-. I know the Ravens and Saints game was worse, I think. You saw him a bit OC and kind of just taking wrong angles and whatnot. But I like what I've seen from Marist so far. Again, I think a guy who in 2025 I think this class in 2025 will have such a larger impact on the overall team than in year 2 than the 2023 class will have had in year 2. Yeah. All right, last one, and then we'll get to the phone lines, 351-999-3787, and talk to you guys in the chat. Caelen Carson. Caelen Carson's another tricky one because much like this defense in general, since week 1, it's been spotty. It's been a little spotty. Caelen's played a lot of snaps as a starter, obviously, with Deron Bland going down, 153 snaps. He's had 14 tackles, 3 stops, giving up 66.7 reception percentage. Don't like to see 119 quarterback rating allowed. 1 touchdown and 2 pass breakups. So week 1 was, man, exciting. Carson was active. He was around the ball. Yeah, he gave up the touchdown, but I think he had way more positive plays in that game. Should have had a couple picks. The dude got bricks for hands that follows him over from college. Then teams decide to start running and doing a little bit more things in the pass game, and it's been up and down for Caelen Carson, right? We've seen the tackling ability has really went by the wayside a little bit there, right? The Ravens game wasn't great. Mean stiff arm, and obviously Nelson Aguilar doesn't tackle him, and he goes for like 67 yards. Even in the Saints game, good point by Broadus here. If you go look at the touchdown to who was it? The speedy guy. Rashid something. If you go look at that play, Carson's supposed to get a jam at the line of scrimmage, and jam was pretty poor. And he just splits the defense. Obviously, safeties don't make an adjustment. Touchdown, right? So he's been up and down. A little up and down, but I'm not down per se on Caelen Carson. I do think he has that ability to put that behind him. I think he has a dog mentality. You knew going into this thing, getting thrown in the fire as a rookie starter because of Bland's injury, you were going to be dealing with some ups and some downs. Now, he'll return hopefully this week into the starting lineup against a Pittsburgh team that's had to throw the ball around a lot in week 4, but they want to run the ball. So he's going to have to show that he can, obviously make those tackles. And if he gets matched up on George Pickens is not an easy guy to go down. So we like to see a bounce back game for Caelen Carson. But where are we ranking Caelen right now? Or grading Caelen right now? Got a C-. A C for Caelen. C- for Caelen Carson. I don't think it's been great, but and the C is not great, by the way, in my household. It's not, we don't like C's around here. Okay? But Caelen Carson has shown, again, like a lot of these rookies, if you show me you can do it once, twice, 3 times, I know you can do it consistently. And I bet he's just chomping at the bit to get back. I just bet he is. He's a competitive guy. He has that dog mentality. He's not going to back down. That's for damn sure. This isn't a situation with Anthony Brown, right? Anthony Brown, and I always bring this up because I think it's important. I talk to some DBs and they're like, hey man, the ability to forget is number 1. You absolutely have to forget the previous play. You can't let it be seen. And with AB, boy, if he get mossed or a penalty or a touchdown, AB is he's just groping and just moping. And just out of it. And teams be like, got him. Remember on Waterboy, where the kicker is like, yeah, there's my. That was with AB. When you realize AB was out of it, it was a wrap. I don't think that's the case with Caelen Carson. I think he has ability to bounce back, and he will bounce back. But right now, it hasn't been. After week 1, it's been rough for old boy. It's been rough. So Those are the eligible Cowboys rookies. Ryan Flournoy, Nate Thomas, and they don't get a grade, right? And then obviously Justin Rogers is no longer on the team. I was really looking forward to Nate Thomas, right? I wonder how severe this was, his injury was, or was this one of those, hey, brother, you missed a lot of camp. You're not going to play. We got TJ Bass, so we're covered from a depth standpoint. But I'm still excited to see him next year in camp to see if he can be a guy that can take over for Zach when he leaves, because I think he has some ability to be a offensive guard. I know he's tackled, converted to guard, played some tackle, did both a little bit in camp. But, man, he's a big dude, 6'5", 335. He can move. He's powerful. He's strong. He wants to move guys in the run game. I'm excited to see if he can kind of be him and Tyler Smith can be that future moving forward at guard. And then Ryan Flournoy, just any minute, waiting to see him get called up. But again, like y'all know, I know how I feel. He'll get called up if an injury happens. He'll get called up if play continues to deteriorate or gets bad for the guys in front of them. Until then, they're going to play the guys that they got. That's just the way it is. Appreciate y'all for Zimmer's. Hey, Tech says Zimmer's a rookie coach for us. Grade him. No, Zimmer ain't no rookie player. And he ain't no rookie coach. We ain't giving him no rookie grade scale. He been around for 11 years. All right, let's wrap to y'all on the horns. What's good? Who this? D-Sean, what's up, man?
Nothing much. Just celebrating the birthday today. That's all.
Oh, happy birthday, brother.
Thank you. Pretty much, I feel like Guyton's gonna need more time, honestly. And I kind of did hate that he kind of always lunges first, and he doesn't like you work on his hands, which I guess that comes as time goes. But it's just kind of annoying seeing that he always get beat by kind of that same move, which is the inside move, one step jab. You hit him in the inside and you straight to the quarterback. So hopefully he works on that. Beebe, I hate it, Scott. I hate it. My biggest reason for loving Beebe because he dirts people so much. Like when he comes around, he's looking to punish. Like that's how you wear a defense down throughout the game. You consistently hit them in the mouth. So the Miami game, I know you might not have watched it, but Tennessee and Miami, like the first couple quarters, Miami, they were like stopping the run. They were stopping it over and over and over again, and Tennessee kept doing it. It took one run, and I don't want to say his name, but he's an ex-Cowboy. It took one run, and he busted out and got it for 20 yards. But, see, that's what happens when you run over the course of a game. That defense gradually gets tired time and time again. But big old Mike McCarthy, I'm not going to say the word, I'm not going to want to call him names, but don't want to sit up here and commit to it, and we're in the situation we're in.
Yeah, I ain't running over and over again with this team.
I know.
Not doing it.
And then
not the way they blocking it, not the way they calling it, not who's in the backfield. I'm not just being stubborn. Not when I got Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, Jake Ferguson. Nah, brother, we don't need to be the Tennessee Titans that have Mason Rudolph at quarterback where they have to run the ball 35, 40 times. We need to find a way to be more efficient with it and be more committed to the action of it. And obviously creative. I'm okay with not seeing any of these backs carry the ball 22 times. Absolutely not.
And then I guess my favorite one, Liufau, I like his aggressiveness. I like his ability to take to the ball. I can't wait till he kind of like understands the game and everything, because when he hits you hard. You're going to feel it. So that I'm honestly excited about. I think Carson's going to take time. Like, he got to build his confidence back up. But other than that, that's pretty much it.
All right, man. Appreciate the call, brother.
Yeah.
Let's get to Brandon from Houston. What's up, man?
Hey, what's going on, man? So just want to piggyback on what the other dude just said. Is like, if we're going to commit to the run, we would have had to commit to it in the off season with team. Right. We would have had to commit to it in the draft, right?
Yeah.
And then we could commit to it in the preseason. and then now we would be seeing, those efforts, but we didn't, so we can't, But as far as our rookies go, like, man, hey, I'm impressed. Like, our problems ain't because of rookies. Like, Carson's gotten thrown out of there because of injury, but he's going to get better. But Guyton ain't the reason why we're losing games, that we've lost games, I don't believe. And Cooper Beebe is a godsend, it seems like. And Kneeland, Kneeland and Liufau, they compete. So I'm pretty impressed with our rookies. We need to have another draft just like this one in order for us to compete at the elite levels. God, that's what I feel like. We need, we just don't got the pieces, looking like.
Another draft like this ain't going to help. Like, I shouldn't say not going to help. The problem is that thinking, right? Not you, but them. They think that they can draft their way to a Super Bowl. That's true. You can never rely on rookies to take you over the hump, and hardly second-year guys unless they're special, right? Or play a specific type of role, like a running back, right? A running back, if you take them, a running back doesn't need a whole lot, right? And when I say I need a whole lot, I mean need a whole lot of experience. So they need to go beyond drafting. Another draft like this would be great, but another draft like this is not getting you over the hump.
And I guess I was referring to those, high conversion things, like, so, wide receiver and running backs that we need in the best, like some of those elite wide receivers and running backs convert pretty easily. I think linemen in the trenches, especially D-tackle, is what we need. There's no doubt that we got to go free agent there, Scott. Like, when we need grown men, grown men, we got to have grown men. Yeah. On there. So I definitely probably leaning towards a little bit more of the skill position sometimes, especially running back, see the hole, hit the hole, make a man miss, break contact. So I'm hoping we could get some running backs like that. But yeah, I think we gotta change our philosophy on team building from what we've been trying to do. And even the team that we have, Scott, like, I think we could still be really, really good if we just change scheme a little bit, just change scheme here and there. Like, I see other teams with lesser doing more, and it's kind of frustrating. I'm going to ride regardless, but it seems like if you're going to pay for all this money, the least you could do is get him the right scheme to get his people open, But that's all I got for you today, Scott, man. I appreciate everything you do.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate the call, man. Thanks. I was just curious. Because I saw people in the chat was like TP. I was like, oh, TP. But no. I have not watched a whole bunch of Tennessee Titans games. No, I'm not going to lie. So what's TP doing over here, man? 4 yards per carry. Pretty average. Only 2 tutties. I gotta go look at this other stuff. Mind you, given what they have there at quarterback, I gotta look at this other stuff. Mind you, he's back as an explosive back. That's for damn sure. They're not really running a little 1-2 thunder lightning punch there. TP's the guy. I was talking to, because obviously our A to Z Sports Nashville is our parent company. And I straight up asked him, like, what's going on over there with the running back situation? He's like, yeah, TP's the workhorse. Y'all know Tony Pollard has forced in 4 games 16 missed tackles. And he has runs of 16, these are the longs. 26 yards, 15 yards, 41 yards. He's forced 16 missed tackles. Mind you, they're likely focused on him because the quarterbacks are trash. So what are we doing? Zeke has forced 0 missed tackles so far. Longs of 9, 7, 4, and 8. Rico has forced 5 missed tackles so far. Runs long of 10, 7, 6, and 9. 1 10-plus yard run. None for Zeke. 7 for Tony Pollard. I look at it. I'm not watching it. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, maybe he ain't doing nothing. But boy, I would sure like not doing nothing here. Not him necessarily, but if not doing nothing If we got a back that forced 16 missed tackles, had a 41-yard run, a 26-yard one, a 15-yard one, 7, 10-plus yard ones, boy, this offense will be looking a whole lot different. A whole lot different. By the way, doing that without an all-pro quarterback and all-pro, D-Hop is there, but not D-Hop, you know? Very interesting. And again, I'm not saying you need to bring back Tony Pollard. That ship is sailed. You shouldn't even have brought him back when he broke his ankle, right? But TP's explosiveness looked like it's still there. His ability to make people miss looked like it came back. He on pace to shatter what he did last year. He's averaging, oh my Lord, 4 yards after contact, the most he's averaged over since his rookie season. What are guys doing? Zeke is averaging career low 2.3. And Rico also a career low 2.38. Okay. 720. What it is, what it do.
I'm a big fan.
Thank you, sir.
Can you hear me well?
Yes, sir. Got you loud and clear.
Cool. I just had a question. I was wondering if you could use your connections to investigate what Dan Quinn was doing to Mozzie last year. Just because this year, the leap that he's made after losing 30 pounds and shoulder surgery, and all of a sudden he's able to get off the ball and play with his hands. You know, I know he had one good game, but I'm just curious, how he was being set up last year to just go out there and fail repeatedly like that wouldn't affect the man's psyche. And that's it.
100% messed with his psyche. I think he learned, according to what I've been told down there, he was struggling with being a professional. The pressure that comes with being a first round pick, playing for the Dallas Cowboys, and then you add on top of that, they're asking him to do something he wasn't really doing as much at Michigan. The weight loss, from my understanding, wasn't a solely, hey, you need to lose 30. That's not what happened. Was mentally he was going through some things, and that affected him to the point where he just lost way more weight than he probably needed to. Because what happens during the season, you come in at a certain weight, right? In camp, you're going to lose a little bit, and then during the season, you're going to lose some more. But he was going through a whole lot mentally, and wasn't handling it well. And then, to start camp and in the season, you could kind of see him creeping into that, because what I'm noticing with Mozzie, if he's healthy mentally, if he's feeling good about himself, he'll play good. If he's not, he won't. And right now, Mozzie is clearly in a great mental space. You hear it after the game in his interviews, how he's talking. He's in a great mental space after that Giants game, and I think he'll continue to build on that. But what we want to see, or what I do want to see, is, okay, when you do go through some struggles, are you going to be able to bounce back and not kind of go back down that dark path to where you're not dealing with these things well again?
Definitely. I had 2 more quick things. I don't know if you're able to watch Sweat on the Titans yesterday, that defensive tackle.
I didn't.
You think?
I actually want to go see now that you brought him up. I didn't get a chance to watch him, no.
Straight dog. Check him out. And then I was curious if you'd wonder if you would prefer Kneeland over him.
Sweat over? Oh, okay, go ahead.
Yeah, and then also how much more time do you think we're going to give these safeties before we start giving people the backup safety some playing time? Just because, I think the Cowboys' philosophy of building a team to the draft can work, but at the same time, they don't allow their young players to play until it's damn near time to pay them.
Well, none of the backup safeties are drafted, but yeah, they were undrafted guys. I thought the safeties were better outside of that obviously bad play by Donovan Wilson in the backfield. We saw the real Donovan Wilson stand up when they threw an out to, I don't know if it was Wandale or if it was Neighbors, and he came down and was that heat-seeking missile. That's where he can be really good in his scheme. They haven't been the playmakers that I would have liked. I think when you look at the 2 games after week 1, they aren't put in that position. Teams are just running down your throat. We got to get back to forcing teams to throw the ball and having to throw in tough windows. Daniel Jones, it was frustrating watching him just sit back there and pick us nickel and dime us down the field. He wasn't going deep. He nickel and dime us down the damn field. But
yeah, true.
So I think they would have to like look like the Saints game more for them to make a move. Although I personally want to see Wanye. I just do.
That's what I'm saying.
I just want to see Wanye.
How long are we gonna wait?
Yeah. I think it's going to have to like the Saints game a whole lot for that to happen, or an injury. But I want to see Wanye Thomas.
Can't he get like 20 reps a game and let Hooker get a rest for 20 reps?
No.
You know? That's what I'm, you know.
Nope. Zimmer don't play that. Zimmer don't play that type of – this ain't Dan Quinn. Like, his guys are going to be out there all day.
Yeah, facts. All right, man. Well, thanks for hearing me out. Appreciate it.
No problem. Dre says start blitzing Donald. That is one thing. I can't even say I'm surprised because they haven't really been in position to get exotic that much. But – one thing I'm waiting to see. Zim has usually unleashed kind of these exotic looks where the safety is doing those type of things. But I don't know, man. Zim. So Zim, from a personality standpoint, is clearly different. I'm a bit stubborn. I'm not ready to say from a schematic standpoint he's different. But it feels that way. We're at a weird, tricky point in this season because the Cowboys sandwiched between the two victories are two horrific games where teams only threw the ball on you 15 times. You will never see what Zim can truly bring if teams are going to throw the ball on you only 15 times and you're not getting in third and favorable situations. You're not going to see it. So I'm just torn. I'm like, all right, I hope Zim wasn't away too long. But we're going to give us, again, more rope than McCarthy, in my opinion. More rope, more leeway, more leash, whatever you want to call it. But it looks odd, man. It's not looking, again, I brought up the blitzing numbers. Let me see if this is, yeah. This is odd to me. Zim blitzes his backers a lot more than this. Zim blitzes his safeties a lot more than he did. He's actually blitzing the corners more than anything. So it's a good stretch, though. It's a good stretch. Now, no Michael Parsons, no DeMarcus Lawrence. So I saw somebody in the chat say, well, what if the defense plays better without him? Great. We need him. We need him to play better without them. They need to play better. But don't you guys for a second think, and KD said this on Twitter, and I know Cowboy fans so damn goofy sometimes. He said he's bracing himself for the Cowboys defense playing well against the Steelers and everybody saying we don't need Michael Parsons and DeMarcus Lawrence. Y'all cannot be that goofy. You absolutely can be that goofy to sit here and think this defense would be better without two of your best defensive players. And I saw somebody say very equivalent to when the Cowboys won some games with Cooper Rush. Oh, we don't need Dak Prescott. Oh, we got Cooper. Relax. You better hope like hell they play better. But don't let that cloud your judgment and think that you are better off without a defensive player of the year candidate and one of your better veteran defensive players on it. Don't do that. Please don't come back here acting goofy like that. Please don't. Please don't do it. I beg of thee. 240, what's up?
Hey, how you feeling, Sky? You can hear me well?
Got you loud and clear. Can you hear me?
Yeah. So really, I think, as a lot of people have stated, especially Professor O, our coaching staff is, and no disrespect to our elders, but I think the game is moving a little too fast for them.
Disrespect to our elders is great.
It's just kind of unfortunate. No disrespect, but it's just like, and I'm going to call him second chance Jerry at this point. We're giving coaches that have been removed from other organizations second chances, and they're doing the same thing here, and we're acting surprised almost to a point. With Schottenheimer, when he was with the Seahawks, they fizzled out in the playoffs. So we've had that issue as well. So why bring Schottenheimer over to do the same thing here? The offensive scheme is, like we said, is poor. Mike McCarthy, that's the same issue he had, you pointed out at the beginning, at the end of his tenure in Green Bay. Uncreative, no motion, can't do things when we face adversity. And just with the coaching staff that we have, it's just like until something, I guess, serious changes with the coaching to the point where we can change the culture of the team, stuff really isn't going to change. We're looking at the same lackadaisical, oh, we the Cowboys, we one of the best teams. Yes, we've always had a high-powered offense, but it's the attitude, and I guess it does come from Jerry on down of the team. It's just it's like I would kill to have somebody like oh wow, how did I blank on the Steelers head coach? Wow, Tomlinson. I would kill to have a coach that comes in with a culture that really can like get these guys hyped and together on one accord. You saw how they used to talk about Dan Quinn while he was with us, like all of the defensive players, Coach Quinn this, Coach Quinn that. I don't hear that about Zim. At the offense, they're not, oh, Coach Mike, none of that. So it's just, I think the biggest thing right now is the coaching, and until I guess the end of this year, we'll see. It's just not as much that's going to change. It really isn't much that's going to change at this point. So I'm hoping that, like I said, for this season, I want the best for us as always. We still had a winning record the past 3 years or whatever, but it's just like the attitude of the players to a point coming down from the coaching is just, it's sad to a point for me. And I really just hope that we can move forward, like getting somebody who can really get these guys together into a unit. We always have good players, but the cohesiveness of the team, it's there. It was there at times last year with the defense, but when we face adversity, especially getting into the postseason, but even later in the season, when we come up against adversity, there's no change. There's no, okay, we can make this adjustment like that to where we're coming out and really showing we have the talent that we have. It just fizzles out, and it's just disappointing at this point. So, I mean, with our rookies, I'm happy for those who are doing well. Guyton will get better. Beebe will get better. I'm really liking Kneeland as far as he's done. And when he gets more opportunity upcoming week, I think we're going to see a lot better things from him. So I'm excited for our draft picks, but it's just the coaching, man, really, for me. And then I would say from last week, there was a guy who was going on about how he wanted Florida to get out there. And honestly, I think like we said, our wide receiver blocking, and you said it's an attitude thing, is just poor. It's not the greatest. It's not going to revolutionize the game for us, but
no,
it would help. I really think so. I think it would help. But like I said, I'm not going to do like, oh, take out guys who have proven they can at least kind of catch the ball. So,
yeah, I just think we're searching for answers there. I don't think it'll do a damn thing, to be honest. Because our receivers aren't incorporated in our run game in that manner, like you see in some of these other schemes. But at the end of the day, they're football players, so you have to be able to block, right? Just like as a corner, you got to tackle, even though that's not your main responsibility. But it's just, again, it's a philosophy that they're not asked in that room to be these type of blockers because, hey, it's so important if you do this to our run game. It gets so much. It's so beyond. Our run issues have, if you rank them, wide receiver blocking is so far down. I can care less. Like I can care less about it. They don't. Everything else they do is so bad at it that's the least of my worries personally.
Yeah, it is a big grasping for straws, I'll admit, but it's just
we're looking for answers. We're looking for answers. I get it. You're looking for answers. Exactly. Trust me, brother. I get it.
But yeah. Anywho, appreciate the show. Oh, actually, it's just a joke. Jokingly, you've heard of this 400-pound boy Desmond Watson at Florida?
If this is the same 400-something pound dude from last year, the defensive tackle.
Yeah.
That's a big boy. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe a 4th, 5th round pick. I don't know what he's really going for, but look, we might be looking towards next year for another tackle. But
how much did the boy weigh, Tavondre Sweat? Because I know he was close to damn near 400 pounds.
I'm not sure on Sweat. Watson, they have at 450 right now.
Oh my Lord, he can't play in the NFL. He can't play in the NFL at 450.
Get him in some conditioning, something, but
Sweat. So they got Sweat at 362. I know he was 380 at one point plus. They got him listed as 362. PFF likes him this year. Yeah, he got some pressures.
We'll see, but But I appreciate the show. Appreciate you as always. Have a good one, Sky.
All right, man. Salute. Yeah, hey, 450, dog. You can't play in the NFL at 450. He gonna have to lose about 100 pounds. But it's fun in college to see that running around. Boy, they run your ass right out the building. He won't last a training camp. He probably won't pass a physical. But it's kind of fun, though, to see in college, for sure. All right, let's wrap this thing up with Magic City. Ain't heard from Magic City since the dub. What's up with you, Mar?
What up, Steve? How you doing, brother?
I'm good.
Yeah, you make sense, man. Man, you've been talking about it. McCarthy run scheme, passing schemes, horrible. F.
Yeah.
So just like you say, we can't. He make our line look pitiful, make our receivers look pitiful, make our backs look pitiful. This guy, I watch all the other teams. Everybody is just creative everywhere.
Everybody's so creative.
I'm like, we the only one.
Yeah, really, bro.
I'm seeing them dudes throw bombs. We got them fast receivers, numbers 9, and he going down the field, bump, nowhere to be found. Same old Caelen Moore.
Oh, Caelen Moore. Okay.
Oh my God. He's just not creative, brother. So that's our problem. We all gonna be, and he making Dak Prescott just do all the work. Right now, Dak Prescott is bailing him out.
I agree, man.
When he should be making a game more creative and make the offenses more excited. But he gonna come with the old stinky offense. He just ain't got it, man. Pitiful. What you gonna do on the defense? I was thinking
without Micah without Micah and D-Law?
Yeah.
Blitz a lot more, man. I'm bringing the heat. I think Coach Zim's got to dial it up. He's got to get more creative. He's going to have to take chances, unfortunately, meaning there's probably going to be some opportunities behind it. But he's really going to have to early on in these games just show different looks. Yeah.
Yeah. Because he get rid of, man, I'm thinking, that's 97. If Marzi play like he did the other day, and then number 97, I'm telling you, I would have him play DN too sometimes.
Yeah.
Because that'll put pressure on them tackles and them number 13 to really eat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Mark. Well, what you think about this? So yesterday we talked about how the Cowboys, and these were my names. I showed you my names. Justin Houston was the old dude. Shaq Lawson. Who else was it? I got the list up here. 1 second. One time for the one time. Let's see here. Oh, Yannick Ngakoue and Tyus Bowser. So those are some names I brought up. But the Cowboys went out and signed KJ Henry to a 2-year deal. A 2-year deal. Interesting. Off of the Bengals practice squad.
Is he good?
I'm not going to sit here and lie to you, brother. I have no idea. I'm going to go watch him, though, when we're done. Let's see. KJ Henry has played 2 games this year for the Cincinnati Bengals. 11 snaps, 1 pressure, 1 hurry. And that's what we got from KJ. 6'4", 255 pounds, played for Clemson. Was drafted last year in the 5th round. So I'll go look him up.
What's his name? KJ what?
KJ Henry.
I'm gonna go watch some tape. I want to see what this guy can do.
Yeah, let's see what old KJ Henry looking like.
How old is he?
He young. He was drafted last year, 5th round. So he probably only like 23 something like that. Yeah, young buck.
Yeah, at least they got a young guy. So I want to see how this guy play. He must play the run good. But like you say, you got to be exotic now. You got to. Well, I've been seeing people blitz like a mug. Every NFL team is blitzing. And that game last night, Detroit, and Well, both of them teams is running screens and
sweeps,
sweep right, sweep left. I'm like,
yeah, even Seattle was running some things, yeah. But how many times? Yeah. Speaking of sweeps, how many times do we see tosses anymore with the Cowboys? Like,
well, man, we don't see nothing.
Man,
we just run up the middle.
Man, went up the middle. Yeah.
Up the middle. No sweeps. I'm like, this guy's killing me. I'm over here. I'm over here. You
heated, bro?
My boy's looking at me like, boy, what's wrong? I said, y'all know what's wrong. This fat.
Oh,
I ain't gonna cuss me.
Oh, don't do that. Don't do that to him. Don't, come on, man. We can't body shame him.
Oh my God, this guy. Or I'm gonna see this week. You better be creative against Pittsburgh.
Somebody said we didn't get the Henry we want.
Yeah, I was right. That dude wanted to play her so bad. But
oh yeah, man, he did.
Jerry Jones lied. I ain't got no money. We broke. Shut up. You could have signed them dudes early. You know you was gonna sign. Should have gone on, but you want to make it all like it's, oh man, this guy killed me, Jerry Jones, man.
Now look, I'm gonna trust Will McClay here, but you mean to tell me Yannick Ngakoue sitting out there on somebody's practice squad?
On Baltimore. You could have got him.
And this is the guy. I'm just briefly watching this as we're talking. This is what impressed them enough to sign him. Like, apologies for terrible radio here. I'm just going through this, and I'm just like, look, man, I hope KJ Henry come here and tear things up, but what?
They gave him a 2-year deal.
Gave him a 2-year deal. Who's his agent?
Who they gonna cut?
They're gonna put DeMarcus Lawrence on IR.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're gonna put him on IR, bro.
They better bring that big number 315-pound D tackle up too.
Okay. All right, man. I'm going to watch more of this dude. I mean, not like I'm going to go crazy because what are you going to really do for us here? But
say
hopefully,
again. KJ
Henry.
Okay.
I believe in KJ Henry. Let's hope, man. All right, Marv. Let's get going, man. I'm gonna talk to you. I'm gonna talk to you tomorrow.
All right, brother.
All right, brother. Appreciate you. Salute. Yeah, man. No, I'm not gonna do that, Mark. I want to like legitimately go watch this guy before I'm just initially just wasn't impressed with what I saw, but about to watch him with Washington when we done here. Let me see, what number is he with Washington? 55. All right, let me stop watching because I don't want my raw emotions go on the screen here, but. Yannick Ngakoue was right. Hell, Shaq Lawson over there. But they believe in KJ Henry. Shout out to my wrestling heads. Speaking of which, recording another episode today of the And New Wrestling Podcast. So make sure y'all be prepared to watch that drop. Well, I'm going to go ahead and watch a little bit of this KJ Henry film here after we get off. I might have to go to Specs, though. I mean, might have to hit up Specs. You know what? Y'all know how I feel. I don't got to go to Specs. I could just download the app, order what I want, and Specs will drop it off right at my door. They are your one-stop destination for unbeatable selections of beer, wine, finer foods, whether you're planning a party, looking for the perfect bottle for you and the missus or the sir. Great prices, expert advice, and the best brands. You can find all at Specs. They've been a locally owned and operated company since 1962. And obviously are the official partners of us here at A to Z Sports Dallas, but they're also the official partners of the Dallas Cowboys, ladies and gentlemen. So look, We telling you that Specs is the place to be. The Cowboys are telling you that Specs is the place to be. Dang it, Specs is the place to be. Voch about to have a cookout here soon. We going to Specs. Oh, yeah. Hit that 100,000 fan cookout. We going to Specs. Basically, what I'm telling y'all is y'all need to go to Specs. Shouts out to them. Cheers to you. Cheers to savings. Hey, do me a favor, though. If you enjoyed today's show as we graded our rookies and we listened to Mike McCarthy give us a word salad about the stagnant offense, hit that like button on your way out, man. That helps us out immensely. We want to continue to grow this thing. We had a steady pace. The way we do things here, a bit different from the low-hanging fruit type and the big network types, but I truly do believe it is for a specific type of diehard Cowboy fan. So for all you Cowboy degenerates that are out there that we call the Bomb Squad, you are much appreciated and loved. I ain't bringing no politics into this. Y'all got that one. Let's go ahead and get up out of here, impressions, bud.
Push the goddamn button. Push the goddamn button.
What's Academy, bro? I'm all for more sponsors. So y'all got some? Throw them at your boy. Well, Professor O, we will not say that name anymore. But man, that combination is crazy. You will definitely have yourself a night. We out here. Love y'all. Peace.